That's what has to be done. We need to focus on the whole. It's happening in parts of physics, TOE, theory of everything. People want to grasp with the whole. And that's where we're moving towards. But people don't know in general that Hegel did it already. So we have to, work with all the professors and teachers and scientists. And I suggest they take a vacation from what they're doing. Just go to another city or something and reorganize your thoughts and start to think of the whole. And focus on basically what I've been showing in this slide. And you can keep your specialization, just bring it in, but you have to start thinking in terms of the whole and how your particular field fits in with the whole. So it has to take place. How it's going to happen exactly, I'm not sure, but that's what there has to be, as we say, a revolution, a tremendous turnaround. And I think it's happening as we speak. People are fed up with the way things are, so much disconnection and happiness. Yeah, so that's all I can say is that people have to be aware that we have to move out of this compartmentalization and move towards the whole and keep your main interest specializations, but see it in terms of the whole, the context of the whole. And that's the way I believe all education is going to be done in the future, K to 12 and university. I can't go into the details now. Again, it's in my book downstairs in the cafeteria. But I hope that helps a little.
Sure, thank you.
There's so much to say on that. Yeah.
Kind of a two-part question. I have an academic question and then more a question about your argument. So so you present a great, comprehensive overview of logic and how it relates to the other aspects of Hegel's philosophy. And what I didn't understand, so this is the academic question, I didn't understand what you thought was Winfield's breakthrough. I haven't read the science of logic closely since graduate school, but we took a seminar on the science of logic, and even though I've had a lot of trouble understanding the end parts of the logic, what you presented there seems corresponded to my general understanding of it already. So I want to know what it is that Winfield introduced that is new. That's the first part. The second part is, to ask it as a point of question, like why should I buy this? Meaning, on the one hand, why should I accept that this is true, and why should I believe that it's healing? Right. So if you were trying to convince me that I should go along with this project, so how convince me that it's true, and then how would you go about doing that, and then also that it's true and that it's helpful?
Right. Very good. Good question. First for Winfield, friend of mine. He's in the Hagels Society of America. Anybody heard of the Hagels Society of America? Sure. Yeah, I didn't go into it in this book, but all I can say is that he goes through the whole logic, chapter by chapter, category by category, and he does this incredible job of interrelating the categories. Amazing. I really recommend you guys read this book. And I've read most of the secondary sources on Hegels Logic, and they don't know what they're doing. It's all very complicated. He really got immersed himself. He's in the intricacy, the internality of the logic of Hegel's mind, and so I just, what I was going to say, he just brings the whole thing together. Most people, John Burbage, they do one chapter and chemism, one section, and you leave the whole thing. He does the whole thing masterfully, and it just, I've been struggling for 30, 40 years with this. All of a sudden I read his book, and there it is, and everything comes together and makes perfect sense. So everybody's celebrating this book. Yeah, the guy's amazing. He's studying with Kenley Dove. I don't know if you know Kenley Dove in New School, many years ago. But okay, that's number one. I don't know if it helps them. So why should I believe you or Hegel? Why should I dedicate my life? Why should I join the bandwagon, hitch my wagon to the star and try to promote absolute science, which will replace and absorb. We're going to preserve what's out there right now. You just have to, as they would say, translate the contents of your own field into the concept, UPI, universal individuality. So I could go for hours with this thing, but the key word, I think, is reason. That's what's behind everything, reason. Hegel says, this is reason. Everybody says, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't stand to reason. So deep inside, reason seems to be a guiding light, a north star that's deeply embedded in us, right? And so if this is reason, it's healing by definition. Okay, so that's one reason why you should follow this, because if Hegel's correct. Now, how do you know that Hegel's definition of reason is the definition of reason? That's another one. Is that what you mean?
Well, I was going to say, if to say the reason is healing by definition seems to be kind of dodging the question, right? I mean,
oh, okay.
Why should I believe that?
Okay.
And but you're right. The specific question is why Hegel definition?
Right. Well, as I said in the course of this paper, as therapy, which some people have said, Hegels' logic performs the healing of the schizophrenic divided Western mind. This Verstand, this separative reason, which separates categories, either or, finite, infinite, being, nothing, cause and effect, and can't bring them together. Then there's the unitive reason, Vernunft, which unites what the understanding fails to bring together. And that seems to me is a healing operation. Schizophrenia is what? Split mind, two sides. So Hegel's logic and thinking is an attempt to unite all of the opposites that the basic opposites, essential opposites of our mind, of our thinking. So I think that alone would encourage you, motivate you to study logic, and to bring everything into a unity. The end is the idea, which is one single unity. And I really think unity. What does Jesus say? A house divided against itself cannot stand. So division or being in twoism, I think, is unhealthy. I think that's really the cause of all disease. Stress. What's his name? He was married to what's her name? The anthropologist. Margaret Mead, his name. What? Who? But he speaks of the double bind. R.D. Lang, Scottish psychiatrist, a double bind. That's the cause of all mental anxiety disease. Everybody starts out in the family with guilt, constellation, guilt, and that's how it begins in the family. Read, R.D. Lang, Sanity, Madness in the Family. They went into all these different families, and there's always one child who's the scapegoat, and they have contradictory binds. You must do this, but don't do this at the same time. That drives you nuts. That's the beginning of schizophrenia. And so being split. So Hegel heals that into a unity. I don't know if I answered that. There's a lot to say, and those are good questions. Why should I get involved in this revolution? Wouldn't it be nice if there was one science and that, like mathematics, everybody on the planet agrees pretty much that mathematics is true? Yes.
I just wonder if you could give more substance to the idea of the end of history. I mean, you sure don't mean that there are no longer serious conflicts, there's nothing more to learn, or there's nothing more to do or achieve.
Of course.
What does it precisely mean by the end of history?
Well, you know all about it.
I take it that Marx borrowed this idea too, that class of society is yet never happened. I'm just wondering how you understand the end of history.
Very good. Great question. Wow. How much time do we get?
Well, since we don't have Professor Fard, whoever it is, he's from Cincinnati, maybe he's still on his way here or something. He's in the aircraft. We have until 12 o'clock on lunch.
Okay. Wow. Okay, end of history. Well,
Yeah.
Fukuyama revived that. Right. Well, as I quoted one thing on your handout, I have another handout, from the philosophy of history, the history of the earth, the geographical as a circle, but history performs no circle around history. At the definite beginning, the East, the Orient, definite end, the Occident, Europe, okay? I mean, sure, this sounds like grandiose, egocentric, and all this, But, I mean, the thing is, look at the greats, Kant, Fichte, Schelling, Hegel, they all pretty much claim that it's over, and we've finally got knowledge, and, okay, well, let me see, okay, well, okay, let me go to the essence, that's what you want. I love the expression that the universe, right, is waking up, becoming conscious of itself. Forgive me, but I'm equating the universe with God, just temporarily, is that all right? So the totality, okay, being, to use Wissenschaft's expression, is becoming self-aware in and through the whole thing. You know, nature, and then, animals, plants, human beings at the beginning of history, the master-slave dialectic. And finally, we have knowledge. Well, here's your question. Do you believe in knowledge? Is there such a thing as knowledge with a capital K? I'll ask anybody here. I mean, that's the big one, because I've been through so many philosophy, meetings, conferences, courses, where most of the philosophers, they believe in truth with a lowercase t. The book is on the table, the chair is black or red, and that's it. Capaldi? Yeah, Capaldi. Yeah. We had a conversation once about, he told me, like, do you really believe in objective truth? And you really believe it. So, so many, philosophers, which Hegel and Schelling would call unphilosophy, non-philosophers, that's a big one. Sorry. You don't believe in truth with a capital T or knowledge with a capital K, we would say you're not doing philosophy. You're not in philosophy. So anyway, the assumption is that there is such a thing as capital T truth. I mean, all these guys, I guess including Descartes, says the truth first came to light in religion, in Christianity, in Jesus Christ, who said what? I am the truth. So, and there it is. That's the way out of this mess we're in. It's God and man are one, right? Man was God, God was a man. So that's a simple way. Hegel says the truth is, everybody can't read Hegel's Science of Logic. So there has to be another way to heal yourself or to get to the truth. And that way, he says, is faith. Faith. Today we call it meditation. Meditation. That's another way, another way. So meditation, faith, affirmation, the whole New Age, what's going on in the New Age. So, so the truth, as they all say, first appeared in religion, but in picture language, imagery, narrative form, etc., which is open to multiple interpretations. That's why you have people driving 747s into the World Trade Center, people beheading people in the streets of Iraq. You can see body parts floating by after it rains. And this insanity that's going on. It's really a mess. So, so religion only goes so far. We have to go to science. We've got to take the truth that's encoded, embedded in religion and picture language and bring it into scientific form so there can be consensus that everybody can agree. And once that happens, I think that, what do you think is called the New Age? The New Age is coming on the scene, yes.
So, okay, the tension that I'm thinking of, though, is, you forgive me, something between like a Freudian death drive and the world of perpetual peace. So where if the whole, the truth becoming is achieved, what I was sort of hearing in your question is, what could, not just what is history, but what is human interaction, what is being, how does one make sense if there is this achievement of truth? Is that the end of it?
In other words, does what follows universal boredom? Is that what you're getting?
Worse. I think it would be much worse than universal boredom, sadly. I cannot even imagine the world beyond there is no more consciousness.
Oh, who's saying there's no more consciousness?
No, I don't think anyone but me right now is saying that. I guess I'm
whoa.
I'm trying to imagine, what is this world like? What is human interaction like? And I'm not worried about being bored.
Right now, the world I'm talking
when
about
there's unity?
Right now. It's happening as we speak. Some are more aware of it than others. I mean, you haven't been living under a rock. There's a whole movement that's been going off since the 60s. Eckhart Tolle, Wayne Dyer, a former teacher at St. John's, who passed away recently, and all these people, they're opening their eyes. They're seeing this incredible, world waiting to be born. M. Scott Peck, wrote this Rebel, all that stuff. There's a whole movement towards this thing. It's happening all over the place. I mean, I don't see any problem at all. It's being fully alive. Nietzsche, Rilke, Rilke, he was salivate and all that. No unlived lives. I mean, being fully alive. It's beyond your wildest dreams. To be totally healthy and healed, vibrant. All your, like, in the 1796 early system program fragment, Schelling, Hegel, and Hegel ended the whole thing with, we no longer look for God and immortality outside ourselves, but within ourselves. And the day of freedom, the reign of universal peace, the development of all powers of each and all. It's all your abilities. Everybody's being repressed and crunched. And that's. And the 60s was incredible. I don't know if anyone was here for the 60s. More power to you. Everybody was, come on, be alive, actualize yourself. That's one of the words, self-actualization. Maybe you can relate to that. But all the powers that have been latent and hidden, and the beauvoir, the independent woman, women's gifts and possibilities have been denied to humanity for too long. It's about time she come into her own being and possibilities and realize them on behalf of herself and humanity. So I have no problem with that. I mean,
so what about something like
if you
global
have peak
warming?
experiences with people who you really love and you feel alive, they excite you, they open up areas which are, you're not allowed to express. Usually when you express yourself, you feel great. So it's that kind of thing. It's not the opposite of what you're talking about. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, so what about things like global warming? What about, because what, if I understood you right, you were saying in 5 to 15 years.
Yes, I'm saying that.
You have to get that that's a pretty radical
What,
claim.
given Trump and what he's doing?
Yeah, for example. Yeah, that in 5 years from now, climate change will be resolved, and perpetual peace will be achieved. I'm not saying I don't want those things. I just...
Right. Well, again, it has to be a revolution. It has to start, as John Locke, one of my teachers, Vanderbilt, Locke. Education is the only solution to the mess. So, you're right. It has to hit education first. You're not going to see the change really until teachers in the educational institutions begin teaching holistic, if you will, divine science in the school systems of the world, K-12 university. So you're right there. Now, how can we get that going is the big question. How do we start it? I have a few answers for that, but I just wanted to bring out the point that, of course, it sounds totally unrealistic, off the wall, as we used to say in the old days. But you have to, how can I say, Henry Miller?
Yeah.
Sunday After the War? His essay, he says the new civilization is going to be incredible, maybe in 1,000 years. Now, I don't want to wait for 1,000 years. That's ridiculous. The world, he did a picture of the whole world. It's going to be no more walls and borders, people mingling over the whole world and actualized, and the abundance. Reminds me of John Lennon. Imagine there's no war, no hate, no crime. Imagine no possessions, everybody sharing the world, living as one. That's where I'm connected to that. So the big question, of course, is how are the dreamers? You may say, I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. So I'm connected with that movement, which, forget about 1,000 years. We need answers today. People are dying, are hurting, suffering, misery. It hurts me every day to read the news, what's going on over there in the Middle East and everything, and here, and the opioid addiction, it's horrible. And just to say, well, maybe in 1,000, I can't do that. I have to say in 5 or 10 years, and either, you're with us or against us, but eventually I think you'll be with us because it's incredible. It's, there's a seed. Seed, as Hegel says, the seed. It's like the universe, Hegel says, is a seed. It starts out as a seed and it exfoliates and expands, and you have this beautiful tree that is moving to it. So, it's there. It's like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a nice inside every person is the seed, and it's trying to actualize. That's what has to be done. We have, there's two ways to actualize it: through, positive interactions, meditation, or, reason is the other way. We talk about the intuitive way to get to the truth and the discursive way. Those are Hegel does that and other teachers. So I'm just very optimistic, and I want to see. I've had enough of the pain and the misery in the world, and I like to make it a short time, and it can be done. I would say. Well, I don't want to go into it. Some teachers say I can actualize you in a second. That's heavy stuff. God realized you. I don't know if you know my Mayor Bob. I went to India with him many years ago, and other teachers. Well, Jesus. Well, look at Jesus. Right? Here's the cross. The three, today you will be with me in paradise. Wow, he goes from a criminal to actualized in 1 second, And I'm just throwing this stuff out that I believe it's true. You can actually become all you can be. You don't have to go through, as Woody Allen used to say, 200 years of Freudian psychotherapy on the couch before you make any progress. I think that's down here, those healing methods. It's time. We have so much knowledge out there. It's time that we go to the highest level, and let's create a vibrant humanity, human race.
Yay.
No, really, we got to get together and do something. I mean, you have to be optimistic. Optimism is hope, right? Optimism. Yeah, hope. We have to be hopeful and positive, and the glass should always be not half full, but overflowing. Sorry, that's the way where I'm coming from. And I'm sorry, I did something terrible. I got this thin condition. I was out in the rain. I went to this opera, Media, and, it was at Lincoln Center, and I didn't dress warmly, and I was out waiting for the bus. And I got this thing. So. Anyway, thank you very much. Thanks very much. What I'm saying, students, I'll see you now, unless something else happens.
So that concludes our session. Thanks to all speakers.